Right, guys. Let me connect this real fast. I like wearing these shirts now. I'm gonna start wearing more of these, polo shirts, just because it's easier to connect my mic. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Okay. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. What a night of fights, guys. What a night of fights. Welcome back, Dean. Welcome to the chat, Dean. Welcome back, man. Did you watch UFC last night? New shirt, new drip. Hey, new shirt, new drip, man. I had to. You know what I mean? I gotta put it on, you know what I mean? Just because it's easier for the mic, man. It's an easier way to connect it, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna wear more of these polos on these lives. But guys, as it stands for 2025 with my UFC fight predictions, I am 126 wins and 86 losses. That is 126 wins and 86 losses. We got a lot of dubs yesterday. You know, look, guys, on paper, this card, it looked very well. It looked very well, much put together. Okay, it did. It looked good, but unfortunately, the card didn't deliver, man. It really just didn't. Some changes in the back. Did you add more collections? Yes, definitely did. Definitely did. Little changes, you know what I mean? Little changes here and there, you know what I mean? Gonna continue the changes, guys. But uh, you know, yesterday was a dud, man. Yesterday was a dud. I thought the prelims were amazing. I thought the prelims delivered. It definitely was much more exciting than the main card. Okay. There were some exciting fights in that, prelim. I mean, we're talking about Jamie versus Vanessa. That was a barn burner. That was a terrific fight. Then we got the fantastic KO by Malcolm Wellmaker, going in there and knocking out Chris Dead Body Montano. You know what I mean, guys? Let's be honest, guys. Chris is. I already said this. The only reason why he's brought into the UFC is to make somebody look good, and that was Malcolm Wellmaker's opportunity to knock somebody out and make a highlight reel of somebody, and he definitely did. Took advantage of him. But let's get real. Malcolm Wellmaker is not an all-around mixed martial arts fighter. He's just a power puncher. You know what I mean? Counter puncher at that, at best. You know what I mean? And not only that, guys, he's not a young man. Everybody keeps saying this young man, this young man. He's 31 years old, guys. He's 31 years old. He's at the very beginning stages of his career. He has a long way to go. So, but huge knockout. I mean, I didn't watch yesterday. Who won though? Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman won last night against Jaquan Buckley. I already knew Kamaru Usman was going to go in there and take advantage of Jaquan Buckley. I already saw that happening. I already saw Jaquan Buckley tiring out in the later rounds, especially for a 5-round fight. And with the experience that comes with Usman, I thought that Usman was going to go in there and use that experience to his advantage and beat Jaquan Buckley into a decision. And that's exactly what happened. Kamaru Usman, finishes the fight with unanimous decision, moves on to get the W after a 2-year hiatus. A lot of people forget Kamaru Usman went on a 19-fight winning streak, defended his belt multiple times in the welterweight division, is a legend in his own right. So I knew Kamaru Usman was not going to lose that fight. I was not going to bet against the man, especially against Jaquan Buckley. Jaquan Buckley definitely has a lot to build off of this, has a lot to work on when it comes to, wrestling. But he's going to learn. He's going to learn, especially after losing, against an experienced fighter in Kamaru Usman. I knew, what is it? I am new. What's up? What's up, Rhythm Second Channel? Welcome to the chat, guys. Welcome to the chat. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, man. This is a channel by the fans for the fans. All right. You are interesting. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate you being interested. All right. And welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the chat. Guys, biggest losers of last night. Okay, I got it highlighted right here in my notes, okay? Excuse me, guys. Biggest losers of last night, guys, will have to be Rodolfo Bellato. And the reason being, guys, is because right away when that up kick that Paul Craig threw right away, I knew Rodolfo Bellato was lying. All right, if you go watch my live, I knew right away when the kick happened and the way Rodolfo Bellato tried to play it off. I knew Rodolfo Bellato was lying about being knocked out and the whole fucking, debacle, you know what I mean, acting like he's hurt and he woke back, he got knocked out, woke back up and started wrestling with the referee. Bellato, you need to be cut. I said that in my live stream. You need to be cut. For pulling a stunt like this, you need to be cut. It's ridiculous at this point. If you didn't want to fight, don't come to the UFC. The UFC is a specific organization and they specialize in getting contracts for fighters, guys. Okay? And if Ronaldo Bellato, whatever your damn name is not gonna, want to fight, then don't sign the contract. Okay? Ridiculous. Uh UFC versus KFC. I'll tell you what, Rodolfo Bellato belongs in KFC because he was playing chicken, guys. He was playing chicken against Paul Craig, acting like he got knocked out. Ridiculous. Biggest loser is definitely Rodolfo Bellato. And yeah, guys, going back to the topic here. This card, the main card didn't deliver. It just didn't. It just didn't deliver. It got to a point where they had three back-to-back fights where it was just a bunch of guys just laying eggs. You know what I mean? And with uh it all started with the Michael Chiesa fight. As soon as Michael Chiesa and Court McGee stepped into the octagon, it was like they just did voodoo in the octagon, and they were like, from this point on, there would no longer be good fights or interesting, entertaining fights. And Michael Chiesa and Court McGee, that fight was horrible. Both of those guys need to retire. Okay, they both look like dead bodies in there, stiff as hell. Okay, might as well bring them to the morgue because they were dead bodies. Okay. And then right after Michael Chiesa and Court McGee, it was Ronaldo Bellato and Paul Craig. That debacle that fucking happened. Okay, so back to back, just terrible fights. All right, and then you had Alonzo Manafield versus Umar. Not very entertaining fight that was. There are some chicken in UFC too. Oh yeah, there definitely is. Pachowski's GOAT. Definitely not. Definitely not. Did he lose? I thought he lost. Yeah, he did lose. Petrosky lost, man. What are you talking about? He lost last night against Edmund. I saw that happening. I'm not impressed with Petrosky. I'm just not impressed with Andre Petrosky. I'm just not impressed with the guy. I understand he was coming into this fight 3-0. I understand that, guys, but I'm not impressed by him. He's just a good wrestler. You know what I mean? But he tires out fairly quickly, guys. All right, he tires out fairly quickly. As first Petrosky out from UFC, as second strip John Jones. Uh, I don't see. I made multiple videos, guys. I don't know how many videos I have to make on this YouTube, live. I made multiple YouTube lives about John Jones, and him being stripped. But I honestly don't think that's what's gonna happen, guys. Make sure my mic is on. The UFC, they refuse to do anything correctly. Okay, anything that the fans want, they're not going with it. Okay, they're just not. They refuse to do anything that's entertaining. Okay, I already said this. The UFC itself, they're in shambles. Okay, they're in shambles. They're. I mean, look at this card. Look at this card that just happened last night. I mean, it was on paper. It looked like a very, very interesting fight. But when you sat back and watched this card happen, it was atrocious. Last night before I got out after almost a 4 hour live. I got out after a 4 hour live. I said I'm not gonna stay here. I'm not gonna stay here on this live you know what I mean, and waste my time because I felt like the UFC was wasting my time. And that's just the damn honest truth. You know what I mean? On paper, the fights looked great. You know what I mean? They looked like a good card, but no, it was not entertaining. I rated it a 4 out of 10. This card was a 4 out of 10 if you watched it live. I mean, and after the Rodolfo Bellato fight, it just sucked out all the air from the arena, in my opinion. Run, Dana coming for you. Well, Dana, if Dana's coming for me, hopefully he's coming to have a conversation. Okay, because I would love to sit him down and have a conversation with him and just pick his brain a little bit. You know what I mean? And get an explanation. From the standpoint of who's making all these decisions, and not only who's making all these decisions, but who's okaying these decisions. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Okay. All right, and don't forget to click that bell notification, guys. It keeps us all connected in this beautiful community that you guys are building, okay? All right, because I can't do this without you guys, man. I really can't, all right? I really can't. But it was an entertaining night last night, but not that entertaining, you know what I mean, when we're talking about the card itself. You know what I mean? Thoughts. Thoughts on what, Assassin? Thoughts on what? Responsibility versus a dream. Well, let me see. I think responsibility goes hand in hand with dream. If you take care of your responsibilities, you will slowly start chipping away at your dream. You know what I mean? It goes hand in hand. You know what I mean? You gotta be consistent with your responsibilities. Therefore, you'll be able to achieve your dreams. I think that's the way that goes. You know what I mean? You just gotta be consistent every single day. Be consistent. You know what I mean? I always say this, man. Slow progression is better than no progression. Okay, slow progression is better than no progression. I know a lot of people that are stuck in the same position. They've been there for the last 7 to 8, 10 years, damn near a decade. Okay, they've been there in the same position. Nothing has moved. Same job, same thing. You know what I mean? And that's great. You know what I mean? That's great for them. If that's what they want in their life, that's awesome. You know what I mean? But I like to progress. I like to progress slowly. I'm not trying to do anything fast, just slow progression every, month. And that's about it, man. But yeah, guys, this card was a 4 out of 10. Uh, I think the winner of the night, you know what I mean, of like spectacular, comebacks will have to be Phil Rowe. I mentioned this I mentioned this on a live recently after the event. I thought Phil Rowe was losing that fight. He was down 2 rounds. If you go watch my live, 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. I said Phil Rowe needs to empty out his tank. He needs to let it out. He needs to leave everything in the octagon. And slowly but surely, Phil Rowe started chipping away. And started landing more consistent combinations. And Phil Rowe started hurting Lasso. And Phil Rowe ended up winning by TKO in that third round. Spectacular. That was a spectacular comeback and finish. You remind me of John Jones. Definitely not. I definitely shouldn't remind you of John Jones. I'm not black. You know what I mean? John Jones is black. We do come from the same state. He comes from New York. He was born and raised over there in New York. I was born and raised over there in New York. So yeah, similarities there, but that's where the similarities end. Mr. OE, I would suggest you an anime, Tegan Omega, in which mixed martial arts and many more techniques are involved, and it is more than just UFC. Well, Dean, awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the recommendation. I really appreciate that, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, guys. All right. But as it stands right now, guys, I repeat, I'm 126 wins 186 losses. That is 126 wins and 86 losses for my UFC fight predictions for 2025 as it stands, guys. And the goal for 2025 was to reach 500 subscribers, and we already surpassed that. We're halfway through the year, guys. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep grinding. Let's shoot for 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. I know we can get there. You guys can do this. And I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep grinding. You hear me? But yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I went last night. I went 9-3 with my UFC fight predictions. 9-3. So that's not bad at all, man. That is not bad at all. I'm happy with that. Next week we got Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree, guys. I honestly want to see Jamal Hill just get knocked out. I honestly want to see Jamal Hill get knocked out. I want to see him be slept. I want to see him looking up at the referee after hitting the canvas, after being knocked out with a head kick by Khalil Roundtree. That's exactly what I want to see, guys. I want to see it. I need to see that. I don't like Jamal Hill. The guy's delusional. Ever since taking that L against Alex Pereira, the guy hasn't been the same. It just has not been the same. He came back, against what's his name? Damn it, I forgot his name. Damn it, I can't pronounce it. What the hell? What is his name? Wow, I can't even get his name in my head. Wow, but fuck. Damn it. But he came back against what's his name and got knocked out. Got outclassed. Supposed to be this knockout artist, but he's the one who got knocked out by the artist. Jamal Hill is soon going to be a dead body, guys. Very soon. A lot of people forget that Jamal Hill lost against Paul Craig. Paul Craig, the same guy that Renato Bellato was acting like he got knocked out and supposedly DQ'd. Jamal Hill lost against Paul Craig, guy, by submission, broken arm. Jamal Hill is a dead body. Is John Jones behind the camera now? Blink if you are in danger. I'm in danger, guys. Okay? He is behind the camera. He's about to take advantage of me as soon as I get off this live, guys. Okay? Help me! Help! You're ridiculous, guys. You guys are ridiculous, man. Really. But yeah, I mean, I honestly want to see Jamal Hill get knocked out by Alex Pereira. Yeah, that too. I want to see that again. By Khalil Roundtree. I honestly want to see that fight. I can't wait. That card, it's an okay card. It's okay, but again, guys, we can't look at these cards and really say to ourselves, "Oh wow, this card looks really good on paper." Because on paper it might look good, and on paper it might look like shit. That's the confusing thing about the UFC. It's been very confusing, very conflicting. Because sometimes you look at these cards and you look at them and you're like, man, this card is shit. And then all of a sudden, the card delivers. It's an exciting card, top to bottom, from the beginning to end. You're looking at yourself like, holy shit, I was making fun of this card. I was calling this card trash. You know what I mean? It was basically fire in a trash can. And look at this. It delivered. But last night, it was the opposite. It was totally the opposite. Last night was the card on paper looked great. It looked like it was going to be a fun card. And all of a sudden, it was trash. 4 out of 10. Rated it a 4 out of 10. Trash. Prelims was much more exciting than the main card. How did that happen? You and John Jones are the same. Always ducking. Also gay. Hey, man. If you're going to be on the chat saying stuff like that, negative comments like that, you might as well get off the chat, man. You might as well get off the chat. Stop the incest. Please stop the incest. There's enough retards walking around this earth, especially with the comments that you're making right now. It's just ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? Grow up and stop coming to people's channel just to spew some negativity. You know what I mean? There's enough negativity in this world. And if you want to spew negativity, look in the mirror and just talk about yourself. Because I bet you there's a lot of things that you can talk about yourself. You know what I mean? And project, you know what I mean, some negativity towards yourself. Because I tell you what, if you're on another human being's channel spewing hate like this, it talks a lot about your character. It really does. It really does. Sad. It really, man, you must be a fucking lonely bastard. I'll tell you that much. But guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it, guys. Okay, thank you for supporting independent MMA media. All right, this channel is ever growing. It's going to continue to grow, and I appreciate you guys. All right, for building this channel. Can't do this without you guys. Let me get a drink. I'm a little thirsty. But yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about, you know, this UFC fight night. I mean, I knew Kamaru Usman was going to be Buckley. I just knew it. There was nothing that was going to sway me. There was no conversation that anyone, that anyone can basically try to persuade me that Kamaru Usman was going to lose that fight. John Jones is literally gay. Have you seen a clip? Have you seen the clip of him at the comedy show? I definitely did. I definitely saw the comedy clip of John Jones. You know what I mean? But I really don't care. You know what I mean? I really don't care. I'm the type of person, I'm the type of man that I don't give a shit. I don't care what another man does. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't care what another man indulges in. That is not my, focus. It just isn't. So if John Jones is gay or isn't gay, that's not my worries. You know what I mean? My worry is he going to step into the octagon and finally defend his heavyweight title? Is he going to do that? Is he going to give, you know what I mean, the UFC and Tom Aspinall the opportunity, you know what I mean, to build a legacy off of him if Tom Aspinall could be able to get into the octagon and fight John Jones? That's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about if John Jones having sex with other men. I'm not worried about if he's going to comedy clubs and saying any gay comments. I don't give a damn about any of that. I could care less what another man is doing. All right. I just specialize in MMA media, mixed martial arts media, specifically the UFC. I don't care about any gayness. I don't care about any lesbianness. I don't care about any of that shit, bro. So, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Don't forget to click that bell notification, guys, okay? Let me see. Literally, ducking time. Living the best life at 30 years old. But why is he hiding his gayness? This is the analysis we need from you. Not really. I don't need to, commentate, you know what I mean, on somebody else's gayness. It is what it is. If he's gay, that's awesome. If he's not gay, that's awesome as well. This is literally MMA media. Not to me. That's gay media. You know what I mean? That's another topic for another discussion on another channel, not my channel. You know what I mean? I don't worry about that. You know what I mean? he definitely has some gay tendencies, but that's his personality. You know, not everybody has the same personality. I recently started watching UFC. Whenever I say something, everyone says I'm a casual. At what point my opinion will mean something? the struggles of new fans into the UFC and watching the mixed martial arts, man. I totally understand you, man. I've been watching the UFC and mixed martial arts since 2003. So I don't know. I really don't. I mean, it all depends on what type of comments you're coming out with. You know what I mean? That's really all that it all depends on that. It all depends on what type of comments are you making. You know what I mean? And if you're making those comments and they're making sense, if they're not making any sense and they sound like a casual comment, then you're gonna be called a casual. Have you seen MMA Guru's breakdown of it? MMA Guru's breakdown. MMA Guru is out here breaking down John Jones' gayness. No, I did not watch. MMA Guru's breakdown of John Jones' gayness. That's crazy. MMA Guru is a character, bro. You gotta love that guy. You know what I mean? He's a character. He really is, man. Big ups to MMA Guru. Fantastic channel. But definitely did not watch the breakdown of John Jones being gay. But I did watch. I did. Um, I did watch, the whole comedy thing about John Jones. There was a video, or not a video, but there was like a short snippet that I did watch about John Jones at a comedy club and some of the comments that he was making and things of that nature. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Damn, I need 22 years of experience to talk like you. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna be. I really don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, hey, uh, I don't know. I don't know what type of conversations you're getting in. You know what I mean? And what type of circle you're in. I really don't know. I really have no idea. But if you want to expand your knowledge in your in this mixed martial arts field, you might as well subscribe to the channel because you're talking to a guy that has been watching this since 2003. I know a lot of a lot of a lot of a lot. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a lot. So, yeah, guys, subscribe. Well, then you are literally a casual watching UFC since 2003. My ass. I've been watching. Yeah, I've been watching the UFC since 2003. I mean, I've been watching the UFC way before GSP. Had his UFC debut against Carl Parisian. You know what I mean? I've been watching the UFC since BJ Penn. Before BJ Penn actually came into the UFC. I've been watching the UFC way before that. I'm talking, Frank Shamrock. I'm talking the Frank Shamrocks of the world, where they were taking over the UFC. Undefeated fighter, beating guys who were supposedly the best of the best. I've been watching the UFC for a very very long time. I'm talking about Randy Couture making his debut into the UFC. The first real double champion, not double, not champion in the same time, but light heavyweight champion, heavyweight champion. Came back after a long layoff, similar to Kamaru Usman. Randy Couture took a long layoff, ended up coming back after having disputes with the UFC, came back to the UFC in the heavyweight division, and comes back and beats a monster in Tim Sylvia. He was he was like 10 inches. Randy Couture was like 10 inches shorter than Tim Sylvia, and that was in 2007, I believe. That fight was Randy Couture versus Tim Sylvia. Guys, my knowledge of the UFC goes a long time. I've been watching this for a long, long time. I could keep talking for days about past events that I've watched. You know what I mean? I remember the Chuck Liddell eras. I was there for that, the Chuck Liddell era. Got a chance to watch the rise and the lows of Chuck Liddell when finally he got stopped by Rampage Jackson. Rampage Jackson finally signs to the UFC, comes from Pride, and his first fight is the rematch against Chuck Liddell. And what does Rampage Jackson do? Puts him to sleep with a right hand in the first round. Okay? Rampage Jackson starts, taking advantage of the light heavyweight division. Defends his belt, bumps into Forrest Griffin. Who's Forrest Griffin? Oh my God, the Ultimate Fighter champion, the very first Ultimate Fighter champion who had a classic fight against Stephen Bonner. All right, let's not forget about the Ultimate Fighter classic fight, Stephen Bonner against Forrest Griffin. All right, that revived the UFC and brought the UFC where it is today. Guys, my knowledge of the UFC goes a long way. Yes, I've been watching the UFC since 2003. Okay? I have a lot of knowledge of this shit. Okay? So you might as well like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Okay? It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Click that bell notification and keep you connected with me and us. I recommend you watch it and come more prepared to the next stream. This guy. Stop living in the past, bro. Give us some deep dive analysis of recent fights. I mean, I already did, man. I already gave you a deep dive analysis of recent fights. I mean, I don't know if you if you are new to the channel, then you must be new, because I've given deep dives, for basically every UFC predictions that that I've given. And as it stands right now, I'm 126 wins and 86 losses. Do the math on that. I'm 126 wins and 86 losses. Okay, very, very, above 500. Great win streak that I'm in. Great, analysis that I gave about the Kamaru Usman and Jaquan Buckley. I mean, what else do you want from me, guys? I don't know what happened before. Everybody says Tom will beat John. I mean, everyone's hyping John Jones' opponent, but I did other fights had, but did other fights had this hype as this Tom fight? Did people talk about Cyril Gone this much? No, not really. I don't think a lot of people talked about the Cyril Gone fight. A lot of people are talking about Tom Aspinall because he's young, he's an up and comer, and he's been getting a lot of highlight reels. He's been knocking out a lot of his opponents, and he's fast twitch. He's a fast twitch type of guy, and he's much bigger, much younger than John Jones. So that's why a lot of people think Tom Aspinall can beat John Jones. But in my opinion, I think it's a harder fight than Tom Aspinall can understand, and a lot of people can understand. Would you? What could Buckley done different? Worked on his wrestling defense. That's the first thing he could have done different, was work on his wrestling defense. I knew right away, if you watch my UFC predictions, when I actually said Kamaru Usman will win this fight against Jaquan Buckley, I said one of the reasons why I'm not going to pick, Buckley is because I've watched his fights, and in his fights he does tire out. He doesn't look like the same person. When if you look at Buckley from round 1 and then you look at Buckley at round 3, that's not the same person. That is just not the same person. And the difference between Kamaru Usman and Buckley is that when you look at Kamaru Usman, when he starts to fight at round 1, and when you look at him at round 4, he still looks like the same fighter. Literally, the same technique. The punches still come at the same velocity. He's moving the same. So that's one thing that I noticed about Buckley that I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident in. So first thing he needed to do was work on his wrestling, his wrestling defense. That's the first thing. Second thing is work on his stamina, work on his endurance. Because I knew just by looking at him and his past fights that he wasn't going to be able to go 5 hard rounds with Kamaru Usman, especially if Kamaru Usman goes in there with a game plan that that basically is wrestling. Tire his opponent out and see you in the later rounds. That's basically what Kamaru Usman said. So that's basically the two things that Jaquan Buckley could have done different. Bro, what are these opinions? Buckley had good defense in round 5, though. Yeah, that's in round 5. A little too late, man. That's a little too late. He had great defense in round 5, but that's after digging deep. He had to dig deep for that. And not only that, but Kamaru Usman had to dig deep as well. He just went 5 hard rounds against Buckley, took him down, at will, dominated him on the ground. And in the 5th round, finally, Buckley, smartened up and he bucked up. But in my opinion, he still lost that round. Assassin, I'm afraid that people thought like this with every John Jones opponent, thinking they might beat John, but it didn't happen. I'm afraid it will be the same, Tom. Sorry, my English not good. You're good, man. I totally understand you, and that's what I'm saying. That's my opinion towards that as well. I think John Jones. A lot of people are not understanding John Jones' greatness. You know what I mean? Look, Tom Aspinall is good in his own right, but I just think beating John Jones is harder. It's easier said than done, man. Usman was clearly more gassed than Buckley in round 5. If you say so, man. If you say so, I don't think he was more gassed. I don't think Kamaru Usman was more gassed than Buckley. I just think, in my humble opinion, Kamaru Usman was going for the takedowns in different areas. He wasn't going for the takedown on the fence. So if you look at the 5th round, the reason why a lot of those takedowns were defended was because they were the approach to the takedown was differently from round 1 to 4 than what it was in round 5. So that's the only difference. It wasn't because Kamal Usman tired out. It had to do with technique. Your MMA opinion are also not good. Your previous comments is literally asking this dude, how do I not sound like a casual? Bro, why are you on here? Like, I don't understand why are you on here, man. Like, every comment that you've been on, every comment that you've made has been negative and have been just totally blasphemy. Just trying to argue with me in every corner. If you want to argue with someone, argue with your mother for teaching you how to fuck your cousins and how to do incest. Stop incest, you fucking retard. Honestly. Out of here. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, if you're gonna be on here spewing negativity, you got to get the fuck out of here. Honestly, because I don't know how you're a fucking grown ass adult just trying to argue with people on other people's channels. That makes no fucking sense. It talks a lot about your fucking character. Go get a fucking life. Obviously, I'm out here trying to do my grind. I'm out here grinding, making 2 videos, sometimes 3 videos a day. You kidding me? I pump out like I go on these live. If you go on my channel, I go on these lives probably like 6 days a week. What are this guy talking about? Fucking ridiculous. I've been watching the UFC and mixed martial arts since 2003. Yes, my knowledge, in my opinion, is actually very knowledgeable. The fuck is this guy talking about? Fucking ridiculous. Some people just out here to just spew hate, bro. It's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me, man. You gotta stop the incest, man. You have to stop the incest. There's enough retards walking around this earth, man. You ever train? Yes, I do train. I just don't train at gyms anymore. I'm a lot older. I'm a lot older person. I'm not gonna go to the gym anymore and try to spar with people that are younger. I only spar and I train with my friends. That's all we do, man. But that's probably I don't go to gyms anymore. Not a place if you wanna not get injured. You know what I mean? I suffered too many injuries going to the gym. But yeah, guys. I mean, we got Jamal Hill versus you know Khalil Roundtree next week. Well, this Saturday coming up. It should be a good one. It should be an exciting one. But I'm out of here, guys. I don't know what's wrong with some people out there. Some people out there are just, man, they're just crazy. I honestly think that's what it is. They're crazy and they are here spewing hate, man. That's crazy to me. You look younger than Kamaru Usman. You could still train. I hear you. I hear you, man. But definitely not, man. I still do train. I still do train. I'm definitely in great shape. I'm definitely in great shape. I just don't go to the gym and train. That's the only difference. I do train. I just don't go to the gym and train. That's the only difference. But I do train. Yeah. I just to brought me. Saw you still live. Awesome, bro. You just brought me. That is awesome, bro. Yes, I'm still on the live. I'm about to go though, guys. I'm about to get off this live. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe, guys. And I will be on most likely later on tomorrow. Uh, hopefully we get some fight news, something exciting happening. But guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. I'm out of here. Until next time, y'all. Peace. One love. Until next time. Excuse me.